Afternoon, everyone. Got some great people joining. Welcome, welcome. If you are joining the meeting, my preferred as a teacher of beautiful ADHD people, which if you're not diagnosed there and you're in real estate, there's a slight chance that you might have tendencies around ADHD. Our preferred method of consuming this content today is with your camera on. Number one reason is I'm very selfish and I love seeing your faces, as does Matt. It's much more exciting for us as presenters to sort of see beautiful faces smiling and laughing and giving us thumbs up and high-fiving us than it is to sort of be on a blank Zoom call where we don't see anything. So that's number one. If you guys don't mind, let's turn our cameras on. The other nice thing is it'll keep you much more engaged in this call. This is our free monthly training that we do. Again, I'm beyond excited about having everyone here. I can see a bunch of great people, some conference rooms over there as well. Great to see everyone. To get us started, I'm going to make a quick request. This call, again, is not some boring Zoom call. We're going to hear some people just like chatting away and everything like that. You guys are going to be interacting during this call. So we're going to have, to get us started, I'm going to ask all of you who are able to. Tori, I got to see you doing a good workout. That's great. But if you are sitting in front of your computer and you're able to in the chat, I would love for you to put in the chat where you're joining us from. We're going to get that chat warmed up. We're going to be using it throughout this call. And once again, just to reinforce, this is not a call that you guys are just going to sit there and listen to me and Matt just drone on and talk to you. We are literally going to want you to be interacting, coming up with questions. We're going to be asking for some great real estate stories maybe that we could play with and doing all kinds of fun stuff. So let's kick it off, guys. Let me pull up my slide deck and thank you again for everyone for attending. And here is our training for today. By the way, every month I'm going to be doing, we do one free training just to make sure we provide lots of value to you, no matter, where you are economically. And our goal today is to get you started in Q4 in a really good way. So we're going to be going through 5 marketing tactics, but it's also really interspersing a bunch of stuff around AI and just general thoughts around a bunch of these topics. So you guys can consume this content today and not do everything, but pick and choose which resonates with you. Here's our agenda. What we're going to talk about today, obviously, I'm going to introduce 2 great people who are on this call, who are dear friends and people I admire, respect, and I consider mentors of mine. Then we're going to talk about why is the next 90 days really critical. And then we're just going to go into some really tactical marketing things that you guys should be thinking about. And again, we're going to be weaving in some practical ways that you can leverage AI in the whole process as well. And then finally, we'll end with some Q&A and also some offers of other ways that you can invest in yourself over this next Q4. So to start off, if you don't know me, my name is Sky Michaels. I'm the former head of coaching for Compass Real Estate. I've been in real estate since 2002, former high school history teacher. I've done everything inside of real estate from being a part-time agent to a full-time agent to running a small team, a large team, broker owner, a manager, and then the head of coaching for Compass before I launched my own coaching company with Heart Coaching about a year and a half ago. So I'm thrilled to be with you guys, and I'm so excited. And I also want to introduce one of my dear friends and mentors, and someone that I'm so excited is getting into the coaching space, Matt Spangler. So Matt, do you mind giving everyone a little intro of who you are?
Thanks so much for having me, Scott. It's always a pleasure to be with you and be with some amazing agents. Hi, everybody. Matt Spangler. I'm the former CMO, basically the Chief Marketing Officer of Compass. Started there many years ago, almost 10 years ago now. Was the first marketing hire, created the brand at Compass, created all the kind of marketing and agent service oriented aspect, including Marketing Center that you all, if you work at Compass, that you've used. And since since leaving that business, have been advising and consulting on tech founders to help them grow their business on their marketing and creative side. And I've also had a fantastic opportunity to continue to work with agents across the industry, helping them train really more specifically on how AI can transform their business and help with their marketing.
Awesome. And Matt, beyond thrilled to have you on this call. It's just every time we get together, it's just like I get so excited.
Always fun.
And then I also want to introduce Trisha Barlow. Trisha, give everyone a quick introduction of who you are as well, and then we'll get our training going.
Hi, everybody. I'm Trisha Barlow. I am the tech geek behind Sky Michaels. We partnered together on a lot of his programs. I've over 35 years in tech, having started out as a software engineer. And like Sky in real estate, I am in tech. I've done the whole full circle life circle of software industry, from project management, software development, Q, quality control, the whole lot. And I have my own tech company. I started out working in real estate with Compass as an AM, and I transitioned into a coaching company. And from there, I decided to set up my own tech company that trains real estate agents. And I did that because I found a lot of the training, a lot of the overview on the tech side of Compass, which was my most experience, was very much at a high level, and agents, as amazing as you are not naturally adept at that. So I really want to do the hands-on and help you succeed by giving you the one-on-one sessions to help you do that, and really getting you to be confident in technology more than anything else.
Awesome. Well, everyone, more importantly, you got the three people who are going to be leading this call, but more importantly, this call is all about you. And again, we are going to be using this chat. We're going to be asking for you to come up with questions. You can unmute when called upon, etc. But we really want this to be an extremely interactive, tactical, and beneficial training that you walk away with things that you can execute on right away. And I'm going to start out with this general question. And you guys, if you know me, you know I love using this prompt, right? Put the word me in the chat if you feel like you left opportunity on the table so far in 2025. And if I was typing on the computer, my theory is we're going to get so many me's popping in this chat, because this feeling in October and Q4, often we sort of look back, we're like, oh my God, like I should have done my CRM. I should have done more social media. I should have fill in the blank. And the reality for all of us today is that if you put the word me in the chat, I want you to just give yourself some grace right now and tell yourself this is normal to feel like this. But the reality is we don't want to repeat these mistakes. Because often as realtors, we sort of repeat the same mistake over and over and over and over and over. Put one word that describes something in real estate that you always want to do every year. You say, I'm going to work on fill in the blank, and you never really do it. So today, make the commitment not to repeat these same mistakes. The other thing that's really critical right now is there is so much noise. And if anything about the last 5 years has taught us, there is one guarantee inside of real estate, and that is we have no idea what is coming down the pike when it comes to real estate, the world, etc. None of us would have predicted COVID. None of us would have predicted the crazy real estate market in 2022, or interest rates dropping, or fill in the blank. So your goal in business is in essence to build a brick house that no matter what real estate winds are blowing, right? Picture the big bad wolf on the outside trying to blow it down. You have this big brick house that is so secure, right? And that is your goal today and every day moving forward. Let me continue to build my brick house in a way that is so strong that it doesn't matter what happens around me. I'm going to make sure I have a beautiful business moving forward. And then finally, not focusing on building and creating systems that improve your business, improve your customer service, and improve your connection to your sources of business, which for most of you is most likely your sphere of influence. So those are three of the most common mistakes I've seen. Matt, for you, what's one common mistake that you've seen with realtors that you really try to get them over?
Yeah, well, I think one is really knowing who your core customer is, right? Like so much of the business, right, is you could be chasing after every lead, every different type of person, every neighborhood. It's really an unlimited like kind of landscape that you could go after. So doing the work to look at your business, really understand who it is that you've been working with the last couple of years, and then trying to focus energies on building business with those type of people, I think is a big one I see.
So powerful. And Matt, we in the chat guys as well. If you know your number one source of business, I would love for you to add that into the chat. If you don't know it, again, this is a really good thing for you to start because when we talk about marketing, right, we talk about the next 90 days, knowing your audience is so incredibly important because the marketing has to be going towards your greatest source of business and the marketing that you're doing has to have impact. And Matt, I love like thinking like
We
Q.
read that too. I think that's a great question to ask, Guy, and I love this chat blowing up. But what I'm seeing in the chat is actually quite broad from a category perspective. And so I'd actually push you all, those who are putting in past referrals and past clients, um, describe who, right, the top clients are that are those past referrals. What do they do? Who are they? Are they people from the neighborhood? Are you like lawyers because you were a former lawyer? Are they, like one step deeper, I think is a interesting thing to think through when it comes to talking about your core customer.
I love that. And we use these broad terms, right? Past clients, like, well, who exactly are they? Am I gravitating towards first time home buyers,
That's right.
towards move up buyers, towards people in a particular, geographic area, whatever it might be?
Yep.
And this is going to dictate a lot of what you do from a marketing perspective. And the other thing I wanted to just really make sure everyone understands that at the end of the day, like it is really critical you do business in the next 3 months, but really the actions you take in the next 3 months most likely are setting up the deals you're going to do in the next year. And that's a really, really critical thing for everyone to sort of grasp and understand that these next 3 months are so incredibly important of planting the seeds of 2026 and the business that you're gonna reap. So what I want to again, you guys are crushing the chat, by the way. Like, great job. What is one word that describes how you want the fourth quarter to feel for you? I want the fourth quarter to feel, for me, my word is consistent. I want to show up every day consistently inside of my business, my coaching business, right? And that includes lead generation, client care, all the things that I know I need to do. I want to make sure I'm showing up consistently. Matt, for you, what's one word that describes how you want the next 3 months to feel?
Productive.
Ah, love that. I love that. And
Makes me
Matt,
feel strong and powerful when I feel that way and energized. It actually equals energy for me. So I see energized in the chat's a great one, but productivity equals energy for me.
and I challenge all of you right now to write that word down and focus on creating that feeling in the fourth quarter. Because the reality is 2026 is right around the corner. And the actions you do today, again, are going to create the results of 2026. And if you feel any kind of anxiety, dive into action. And Matt, your word of productive, so critical. If we feel productive in Q4, I guarantee you're going to be really, really happy in 2026. So let's dive into the 5 tactics. So the first tactic that this time of year, it's really critical, is you do a little bit of a marketing audit, right? We got to clear the clutter and clear the noise. Put the word me in the chat if you took a training or trainings this year and you feel really overwhelmed at everything you should be doing, but you're not doing. Right. And again, I might be the culprit of this overwhelm, right? It's one of those things that sometimes we take these trainings and we have all this clutter going on. And I think this time of year, it's really, really critical that we do a little bit of an audit, right? We clear the clutter, we clear the noise, we go backwards, we say, what is working, what's not working, are my the basics, right? Do I have links that make sense? Have I uploaded past sales? Do I have everything that should be on my Instagram profile correct? Does my profile picture even make sense, right? All these things are really critical. And what I want to challenge you is not to take this audit and do everything all at once, but chunk it out over the next 12 weeks, over the next quarter. And if you focus every week, pick something that you're going to focus on to clean up, improve, make better, this is going to allow you to enter 2026 in a really, really powerful way. The other thing that's really great is acting like a consumer and searching for yourself online and on social media, right? How many of us have Googled ourselves, right? And all right, well, how do I show up? Are these links working? Do they make sense, etc.? And Matt, I've never done this before, but have you, can ChatGPT help in terms of this, like, or AI help us with this audit?
Well, I think this is actually one of the incredibly important thing to talk about right now, Sky, because more and more statistically, the traffic for search is moving over to AI, right? It's moving over to the Chat GPTs, the Perplexities, the Claudes, et cetera, where people are not going to Google for doing their traditional searches. And this is happening in mass right now. And so just like Sky saying you need to do the Google search, you absolutely need to go into the top AI tools and search and say, who's the top real estate agent in whatever neighborhood you're working in? Who is the top real estate agent? And then just look for yourself and say, what do you know about me, based on your online research? And it can really help you get a better understanding of that. Often when you see those searches, when you ask for generic questions like, hey, just show me the top people in a specific neighborhood, what you're going to see is there's going to be attributions. It's going to show you in the results where it's getting the information from. It might have a link out to a Yelp review or some other Google site or a realtor.com site or whatever it might be. And that's going to show you what are the places that the AI is looking to actually determine what the new kind of, right information is for that answer.
So cool. Well, Matt, I actually let's actually test this out too. Let me go into ChatGPT. I'm going to say, can you show me how Sky Michaels shows up online to the general public and include any relevant links to websites, articles, etc. And again, sort of just like what is it? What is it gonna, I have no idea what this is going to pop back, but core online presence, skymichaels.com. Again, this is really cool, guys, because I really actually rarely use skymichaels.com. And it's actually interesting because ChatGPT is giving that as the number one thing. Where if someone was evaluating me as a coach, that's the number one site. I need to go and audit and actually see what that site is because I haven't looked at skymichaels.com in a very long time, right? And I'm trying to illustrate to you guys like this is like the power of what AI can do is it can give you some direction. So I challenge all of you right now to go into ChatGPT, go into Google and look at what is showing up. What are the links that's returning? And is this, the most powerful thing, right? And is it look right? Does it represent you? And how can you elevate yourself? The other thing we're going to give you as well is a little bit of a marketing checklist, marketing and audit checklist. On the next slide, and Trisha, maybe if you don't mind, actually, I can dump this into the chat. This will prompt you guys to create a copy. If this is something you want to do, this is a really good checklist that you can start to work through to, say, all right, does my headshot look good across all these platforms? What does my bio look like? Email signature, website, email marketing, online profiles. You guys get the idea. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that you could go into and hopefully give yourself a little bit of a Q4 checklist or to-do list that you can start to dive into some of these things and make sure everything is updated properly. So, Matt, any other thoughts on a little bit of a checklist or using AI to help them here?
Yeah, this is absolutely something that you can treat AI like it's a person on your team who you want to go and do work to do the research and find out about the things that are most important for you. And one of these examples of doing these audits and understanding your business that I use a lot is I often will just toggle on and give ChatGPT some access to my email so I can just ask it to go in or my calendar and say, hey, can you just please go in and look at what I've been focusing on and where have been the areas that I have spent time on. And it'll allow you to do a summary of the areas that maybe you might need to spend some more time on. You can give it the list of marketing tasks that you do, and then compare that to what's shown on the internet, and ask it to give you a balance between. Can we give you an audit, just like Sky's saying, like use this audit template and actually put it up into AI and ask it to do the audit for you as best you can based on these parameters.
That's a great idea. Download this and upload it and say, do this audit for me. I'm like, oh, Matt.
100%. I mean, this
So
is
cool.
documents and sharing documents with the AI tools. So it's one of the most powerful ways that you can leverage it as a teammate.
It's amazing. And I love that concept of like, all right, it's actually like a person sitting next to me, that can actually help me with all of this work needed. Put the word me in the chat if you know that if this is something that you should probably focus on in Q4, auditing all of your marketing. I'm just curious if this is something that's hitting a lot of people that, oh my God, I've not checked my online presence in a very long time. And what does it look like? Because the reality is you guys are being searched on ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the AI platforms and on Google. And it's really critical that we audit this, see what's showing up, and make sure it's maximized. All right, so that's marketing tactic number one. Marketing tactic number two is one of my favorites. A line that I would use often in my business to my team, I would tell them facts tell and stories sell. Real estate, in my opinion, is a very emotional business. And sometimes when we use facts and data and charts and all this stuff, it sort of can push people a little further away from us. But when we use stories and we story tell, it pulls people towards us. And hopefully it creates something that people can relate to in a really powerful way. The other thing I think that's powerful about storytelling is that every single day in your real estate business, you guys create miracles. You guys solve problems. You guys create marketing material every single day in your real estate business, but no one knows about it because we don't tell the story. So, what I want to challenge all of you to start to do is to story tell. And what I want to challenge you to do is every single day, at the end of the day, ask yourself the question, did something happen today that was really cool, really chaotic, really crazy? And how can I take that story and turn it into marketing? And the reality is, if your marketing revolves around storytelling, it will be so much more impactful and successful as you move forward, right? Again, real estate is this emotional business, and stories create connection and emotion. And as you think about marketing in Q4, what has happened, this month or this year that you could spin the story around and actually create marketing materials for this story. And Matt, I don't know, what's come to your mind when I bring this one up? Because I know this is something you're passionate about.
Oh yeah, for sure. It brings a smile to my face always because I asked who in the chat has seen a campaign from Rolex recently, right? Maybe just put in me. And in that, what does Rolex ever talk about the specific kind of features of the watch itself, right? No, their campaign is reach for the crown, right? So it's this idea that like greatness is what they do. And what is the watch itself is a connection to those who are great at everything in life and those who are striving for greatness. And that's an idea that we can all get behind. They don't talk about, hey, this watch has got a gold bezel and has these different like types of things on it and this color. This doesn't matter, right? Like, in the same with storytelling, like you have to think about what things are you helping communicate that passion, that love, that home connection, the like stories that people care about that are your clients, and make that a part of your marketing.
I love that, Matt. And Matt, what comes to my mind too is those agents that say, I'm number one in the market, or look at this house I sold, or right. It's always like boasting about them. That's like Rolex saying, look at this amazing watch and the features of the watch. People don't care about that. What they want to feel is emotion. Instead, you tell the story of, and again, I have some examples that, may shake some, you get your mind going, right? But how many people have had a crazy negotiation that you solved, right? Or a settlement issue, like the toilet was leaking the day of closing and you got on the phone and you made everything happen. Or one of my favorites recently is the I beat Zillow, I beat the Zestimate. How every agent on this call, most likely, most of your sales are beating the Zestimate, but we don't ever tell that story, right? And that's something that we need to start to do. And Matt, if an agent on this call has a story, like a really good story, how could they leverage AI to create like marketing pieces? Does that make sense?
You
Question?
just put it right in. You basically say, like, here's my story, and here's the data points, and here's the examples that I'm talking about. And now come up with ideas. Come up with an email that I could use to write and tell this story in a more evocative way. Give me a script for a voiceover that I can just talk to camera to tell this story in a better way. And use the storytelling techniques of great filmmakers. I mean, just tell it to do that. And you're going to get back all the text, all the examples, all the references you need. It's all right there. You can just ask it to do the things that you would normally have to go then and like write yourself and do all the research yourself. Instead, tell it what you want it to do, give it the example of the story, and let it help you tell it.
Love it. And I'm going to give everyone a real world example. This is one of my clients. The verbiage might be, or the image might be a little small, so I'll dictate it a little bit. But one of my clients, I started saying to all my clients, take a picture of the Zestimate or the Realtor.com and Redfin before it goes live. So she did this, and amazingly, the first this says this is an Instagram post she created, right? The first picture was what Redfin thought my listing was. Second picture, what I listed it and closed it for. Third picture, what Zillow said it was worth. Redfin was off by 80,000, Zillow was off by 66. Moral of the story, don't let the algorithm tell you what your biggest asset is worth. Always here and happy to help.
I
How
don't
many?
think we're seeing that one, Sky. At least I'm not on the screen. I don't know if you have
Oh,
an
shoot.
image, you have an image that you're showing there.
I am. Yeah. I thought it would show up, but I'll make sure we email it. So thanks, Matt, for giving me that heads up. For some reason. Okay. I thought my images were going to share, but they not. I'll make sure we email that out. I've shared that one, but that's a really great example of a storytelling that you guys can get behind. But the biggest thing we want to do is go into ChatGPT or whatever it might be, load up our story and then ask it to create ideas around email, video, Instagram, mail, etc. Right? If anyone in this call sends out just listed, just sold postcards, never send out a just listed, just sold postcard. Send out a check out what your neighbor just did story. Send a before and after. Check out the transformation. Check out the glow up, the house glow up, right? Tell the story. Don't send a factual information point. And this is a really, really key factor that I want all of you as we enter Q4 to sort of embrace. Because the reality is you're creating market material every day of your real estate career. All you got to do is lean into the AI that's out there to help you create these actual versions of it. So anything else, Matt, before we move on to the next technique around this concept? Because it's sort of a key one.
Yeah, no, I think you covered it well.
Awesome. All right. Another favorite one, right? All right, Q4. We think of Q4, and there's so many opportunities to build your business using authenticity and gratitude in the holidays, right? The best businesses are ones that are authentic. When you guys are your authentic self, you don't even have to talk about real estate. You just need to show up and create beautiful conversations with people. And when we leverage the holidays and when we leverage gratitude, there is no better way for you to build your business in Q4 than by leveraging holidays and gratitude. And the best part about it is we just get to be our authentic self. And there's so many ways that you can lean into this process. And again, I'll share some ideas. And Matt, as I'm pulling this up, again, this is just a brainstorm. My goal, guys, is not to say you shouldn't do, all these. Honestly, you should pick 1 to 2 of them that make sense. Classic one I loved was creating a Thanksgiving recipe book from your clients, right? You could send an email out to your clients. Hey, I'm assembling my clients' favorite recipes, and I'm going to share that before Thanksgiving. If you have anything you love to cook on Thanksgiving, email me your recipe, and you can even put that into a book. There's tons and tons and tons of ideas here. My recommendation to everyone is to go through this and look at these ideas and pick 1, 2, if you want, you can go a little bit beyond that, but don't overwhelm yourself. But make sure you pick things that actually make sense for you. And this is another area, I think, too, Matt, where, sometimes people might be overwhelmed with, well, how do I organize fill in the blank? How can AI help people around this topic?
Well, I actually think these pillar events are one thing I really harp on as like one of the core things that you should be planning around and doing for the year. And the holidays are always a great time to do these. And so two notes. One is for sure what, actually I teach this as part of the course that I do on AI, is that helping AI understand your business first so they can then tell you what makes sense for a great pillar event. And then identifying that and then actually asking it to give you a 2-month promotion plan leading up to that event. Right. So what creating a simple, powerful event does is it helps you give you something to talk about. And because so much of our life is like we're just talking about real estate all the time, and we're talking about homes and selling and houses, and that's what people expect of us. But most people get tired of that, right? They want to hear just the authentic things that matter to you. And if you can create something truly special and then give you a reason to reach out with a gift of gratitude and love and inviting someone to something special, then and I challenge, make it something that you would want to, if someone you didn't know invited you to it, you would jump off the couch to go to that thing. Don't make it like an everyday, thing. Make it different, make it special, make it truly something that someone would feel honored to be invited to. One last idea that I got recently from AI was if you have once you know your customer, maybe you have a bunch of art lovers or people you think would like museums or something like that. Call and figure out if there's some sort of VIP thing that you can create which takes you behind the scenes of that museum or has a special tour with someone who runs the museum. And then offer that as an option that you don't even have to be there. It's like basically a pass that you can offer. Like just get it back in touch. I have a series of VIP passes with behind the scenes tours to the museum. And please, as long as you get in touch and you're one of my valued clients, we'll be happy to give you that. And so it allows you to not even have to be there necessarily, but create something truly special that they would want to reach out to you to get.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Matt. And again, it's one of those things I think by leveraging, tactical real estate stuff that, some of this is classic old school real estate by going into AI. And let's say, we'll demo this right now too. Let's say, can you create a 2-month promotional plan and I just copied and pasted the first one on there, right? Again, now I'm like, oh my God, what do I do to hold a pie pickup event? Boom, I go in, it creates my plan for me. You guys can sort of see, and you could ask it, can you create the email, right? I can say, can you create this email? And, then it does it right there, etc. It's still thinking. So you guys get the idea. You use AI as your personal assistant. And this is very basic stuff that we're showing you. But I think the biggest takeaway that I want everyone to think about is, who am I? How can I leverage the holidays and gratitude to enhance my business and create these connections? And then how can AI help me in this? And if you take that approach, again, you guys can take these next 3 months, and there's so many unique opportunities between October, like fall festivals, November, you got Thanksgiving, December is all about appreciation and, New Year's and renewal, it's reflection, etc. There's so many ways that you guys can leverage the holidays and gratitude in order to build your business. Um, by the way, if anyone has any great ideas, throw some of your ideas or some things that you do in the chat as well. And I always love, this is maybe one of my favorite quotes ever. And it's something I try to live by. It says, this is a Maya Angelou quote. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And as a real estate agent, this is the quote you want to lean into around the holidays and around gratitude. If all you do is send out 100 pies with, no heart, no anything, like it's almost not even worth doing it. You got to make people feel something. So, Matt, any other last things before we go on to our next tactic?
No, no. I mean, I had a great example of this. Someone I worked with recently who was in the film business, and she mentored many people over the years. Her name was Paula Weinstein, and when she, like the reality was the way that she made people feel and the attention and focus connection, and the feeling that you were the only one in the room when she was talking to you. And I think that is another. I think important thing for real estate agents. You can be pulled in lots of different directions, but if you can truly give that dedicated time to a few of your top clients, your top refers, and really make them feel special, it can go a long way.
Awesome. All right. Well, so the next tactic, I'm gonna full disclosure, the next tactic selfishly is a little bit authentic to me. And so if for some reason football is not something that really gravitate to or isn't something you love, there's lots of other fall sports or events or things you can relate to the fall. For the purpose of this training, I just sort of selfishly use myself because I do love football. I love the Philadelphia Eagles. I love, everything about this season from a sports perspective. But at the end of the day, the New York Marathon, I think, is coming up in November, right? Maybe that's something you gravitate to. But the bottom line is fall sports, and I should have put the word activities, right? Are a really great way that you can lean into tactics and things that you can do from a marketing perspective to create more business for yourself. And I will stress again that this tactic that I'm going to give you guys is a little bit geared at a love of mine, which is football. You can do an NFL tailgate party, right? So I'm actually going to one this weekend at one of my teams that I coach here in Philadelphia, and they invited all their past clients, and they're holding a big tailgate, and they're saying even if you're not going to the game, it's still a great event. I had another client just recently that did an NFL watch party where it was an away game and they had all kinds of fun kid activities and they did it in their office. And so it was really inexpensive. It was really fun. They had over 100 people show up, and every parent was coming up to them saying, "Hey, can we do this again in 2 weeks from now, the next game?" And anyways, the bottom line is, though, guys, there's so many ideas where you can take fall sports if you're into football, or if you're into running, or if you're into basketball, hockey, hiking, you name it. There's something in the fall that you probably could leverage to use to create connection inside your real estate world.
Yeah.
Um, we'll provide you guys with a little bit of a link with some additional ideas. And again, Matt, I'm assuming not to harp the theme of AI helping you, but how could AI help people in this regards?
Well, one, coming up with ideas, but secondly, again, you want these to be authentic to who you are, right? And Sky really said, some of these ideas were straight from him. So again, one of the areas I really focus on early on in these courses is that by putting the information about your business, try to identify who your core customers, where you're really doing business, where, like, the data behind it, and then getting those insights from AI that it really otherwise you can't get. It's very difficult to pull out. It will then help you make decisions on what types of things to do with people, that are based on not just you think they might like that, but actually what their interests are and who they are as people. And so it will help you determine, like, maybe a more effective strategy with this.
That's great. And again, I think that's like we sometimes the power of it to think for us, right? And it was as an agent, often we get into analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Again, you have a coach who's throwing ideas at you, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? AI can help you weed through that analysis paralysis and make decisions.
Right.
So really, really cool. In the chat, feel free to throw what sport you would gravitate to or what activity you would gravitate to in the fall. And is there a world where you might design some marketing events, outreach, interactions that could have some impact? And again, here are just, 15 ideas, obviously a couple of them here, but you could do a football pick 'em pool, fantasy football league. And again, these are football themed, so I apologize. These are selfishly authentic to Sky Michaels. But you guys get the idea, right? We could sponsor a Pop Warner League. You could do all kinds of drop-offs around game day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the bottom line is, though, really get creative in Q4 about how can I leverage sports and activities. And again, it does not need to be football, but how can I leverage these in ways that are authentic to me and that will help my business? And then finally, we're almost at the end. And this one I'm not going to go deep on because this is something that I think is every agent on this call is going to need to do some introspection and evaluation. And again, deciding this word systems and processes is so critical, but it's also so broad and so laden with negative energy, we'll say sometimes with agents. Put the word me in the chat if you feel like working on your systems and processes is critical to your success in 2026. And my theory is we got 83 agents on this call. My theory is 83 of you, even if you're not putting it in, would put the word me in. And full disclosure, just so you guys know, in my coaching business, systems and processes is one of the most important things that I'm currently working on right now. Matt, I'm sure we had a little CRM discussion, right? Like, even as coaches and entrepreneurs, like we are working on this.
Yeah.
So
The top of my list for improvement in fourth quarter of this year. So we're all with you together, everyone. This is a
exactly.
challenge.
Yeah. And Matt, in your coaching of agents and interacting even with higher level entrepreneur, other entrepreneurs, like what do you feel is the most common systems and processes that most people need to be working on?
Well, again, like the power to me when I start like cleaning up my CRM a little bit is then I start utilizing that CRM with AI to
Mhm.
actually do a lot of really incredible things, right? Once I have my list cleaned up of like, let's just say, for example, a lot of my business for consulting and advising with tech companies comes from venture capital people. So by having a really incredible list and building that out and knowing more about those people, then I can like use that to say, great, now I export that list upward into AI and say, like, this is the interactions I've had with these people. Give me all kinds of new great ideas for follow-ups, for like how to find more people like them, et cetera, like mine their networks to find interesting additional connections for me. And so that's definitely one thing of like using not just like your entire CRM, but again, a focused customer type that allows you to then have actions that can come out of that. So it might be again like all the people from specific zip codes in a
Mhm.
specific neighborhood.
Yeah, so cool. And again, it's like one of these things, there's so much power right now in these tools that are out there to allow us to move away from like the theoretical into the action space. And action is where the results all sort of lie. So the bottom line for all of you is this is, another favorite quote, right? You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goal setting is great and all, but if you don't have the systems to get you to where you want to go, you're ultimately, going to fail. And this is such an important thing in Q4, working on your systems around marketing, around outreach, around CRM, around client care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is probably one of the most important things that everyone on this call should really think about doing. So in the chat, I would love to open it up to you guys. What systems and processes do you want to focus on in Q4? I would love to see some people, volunteer in the chat. What are some things that you're working on, systems and processes that'll really, really help you in Q4? And feel free to throw those in, and we might call on some people. Amy, getting contacts organized in the CRM, right? You have to hire someone to help with this. And Amy, that you can hire someone to help you with some of it, but the relationship side is really, really critical inside of CRM. Madison, CRM organization. Again, for most of you guys, relationships are really key. Ingrid, awesome. AI to help you with systems. Matt, this is probably music to our ears, right? It's like sort of hitting what we're experts in, AI, CRM, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys are really hitting on some key themes.
The CRM organization is actually one of the major areas of focus on because it's actually one that AI can help you a lot with, right? And getting back to just you have a database that you can export those contacts, you can ask it to re-upload, reorganize, re-export that back and put it back in your database, cleaner, better, more enriched than you had before. So it's definitely one that's a great use case.
Awesome. Well, let's before I get into some offerings that both Matt and I help, let me actually take my screen share down. And I wanted to give everyone a chance to ask some questions, or does you guys have Trisha from a tech side, me from a real estate side, Matt from a marketing and a AI side. What questions are you guys currently working with that you need some help with? Feel free to either raise your virtual hand, throw it in the chat, or even feel free to unmute and I'll call on you. Bob.
Yeah, so I am leaning into AI. And I'm not going to throw shade on it, except to remind people that it can do batshit crazy stuff. Like you just cannot assume that what it said is real. I've had lots of experience where I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Like that, you know. So just a reminder. But otherwise, I'm using it to create scripts for specific scenarios for videos. Where I'm telling a story. So I've told it the story genre I wanted to use, in this case, story brands genre. And then, like you said, just here are some things that happen. Can you create a script for that I can use?
Wow,
and this is where I need to be on it, like focusing on it, because it's like saying stuff. It's like, wait a minute, that was the last person, And then it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Thanks for keeping me organized.
yeah. Matt, any tips on like how to make AI more accurate for you? Like, is that an appropriate question maybe?
Well, two things I often do. One is I try to like encourage the use of two at a time, right? So like you got to imagine like things like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. There's lots of different AI tools out there. They're all actually completely different brains. They're completely different products. They act and draw on different databases. They are, and so some may even be more accurate in some cases than others. And so I always like to it's very simple to write, just like export like an answer. If I feel like it's a report or something, I'll just take it over, I'll upload it, and I will ask it to the other AI to say, like, analyze this. Does anything seem off from this? What things are true or not true? Check this for me. And it will do the work for me often to identify if it's accurate. It often will say, oh, actually, this looks accurate, and maybe this is questionable, etc. And so, again, it's a lot smarter than I am to be able to analyze and faster to analyze things like full documents or things I'm trying to create. So that's one idea. And then the second is like I often, agents will come back to me and often say, well, I encourage them to share, market report data and things like that. And often they'll say, oh, but is it exactly accurate for, with all these different sources and everything else? And I say, like, the reality is like you're there to distill down the success, the numbers, right? And to provide insights on those numbers and to give like the broad strokes. And then, if it's not 100% accurate, like that's okay. And they're not going to know. And it's actually a start of a conversation. And like the exactness of the data is actually paralyzing for many agents. And you won't share things because of that. And I think that's a big problem. Like it's about showing the knowledge, having like a 99.9% sense of like this is accurate data from what I understand, and then sharing the insights from that.
Love that. Awesome. What are the questions, guys? Trisha.
I just add on a little bit there, particularly to Bob's specific case. Bob, make sure you're always using a new chat when you're in your AI, so it's not, thinking that you're still talking about the other one. And the other thing is, on a lot of LLMs, whether it's Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, if you go into the settings, you can customize your settings and you can reiterate who you are, the tone you like to use, and those things will actually help in your results in what you're getting. So just two very quick, easy tips there.
Right.
Yep. Really cool. All right, guys, we probably have time for one last question. Anyone have anything pressing? All right. Oh, Viv.
Hi, thank you so much. This is very exciting. I'm very new to real estate and also new to betting on. I'm counting the days. I'm just about 60 days old.
Oh, welcome.
Um, Thank you. And so I'm learning, taking all the information in. Just in a few words, where do I start?
Say that again, that last part.
Where do I start when it comes to marketing? Just three things to do in the next 3 days, 4 days.
Perfect. If you, from my opinion,
Yes.
everything goes back to the people you know first.
Okay.
The people you know will be the ones that already trust you, that already
Mm.
love you, and are also the most scariest though for you to reach out to. So if
Yes.
you can get the people you don't know are the easier ones because you're actually not emotionally invested
Yep.
in how they respond. So the number one thing for you to do, in my opinion, would be to determine the people that you know that you love. And
Mhm.
this goes back to some of the things, concepts that we've talked about for many years, Matt. But like when I recommend you organize your CRM based on how you feel about people, not
Mhm.
based on what the business is that they've done. So a lot of you maybe have heard this before from me, but my sphere A are people I love. My sphere B are people I like, and my sphere C are people I don't know or don't care about. And when you can organize your CRM in that simplistic structure based around how I feel about people, Viv, what it allows you to do is create marketing that aligns with how you feel about people, not
Mhm.
based around what you hope their perceived potential actions may or may not be in the future that you're trying to predict and you know, et cetera. So now the people I love, my market activities are, hey, do you want to come to my tailgate? Right? The people I like, I'm like, hey, here's some great tailgate recipes. And the people I don't know or don't care about, I'm like, hey, here's a great open house this weekend before the game. So you see the difference there. Like if I was sending to my people I loved, hey, go to this open house before the Eagles game, I would be like, oh, God, that's so salesy, right? But instead, all I'm doing is saying, hey, come to this tailgate. So
Mhm.
if you organize your CRM based on how you feel about people, it will reshape how your marketing unfolds as well from there.
Awesome.
Yeah, the quote
Thank you.
where
Thank
your
you.
love goes, your energy flows" is one of my favorites of always. It's so true. It's
Yes.
like, it is going to be a whole lot easier to do marketing to people that you're excited about reaching out. You know what they care about. I'm with Sky. Like your sphere is everything as you get started in the business and cultivate that. You know, going out to a mass audience is not important for you right now. Just really focus on truly building out your database of your top, few hundred people in your life that are going to help you, potentially do deals.
Yep, that's it. And
Thank
again,
you so much.
yeah,
Thank you.
hopefully that helps as well.
It
So,
does, really. Thank you.
and then use AI to say, what are some great things I can do for people I love? What are some great things I can do for people I like? What are some marketing emails for the people I don't know or don't care about, And then just let it go from there. And really great, Viv, I could have paid you for that question. As everyone on this call knows, we run coaching businesses. So this is a non-shameless plug. This is a plug that both Matt and I and Trisha has another program we'll talk about down the road, but I have a program that is launching in 2 weeks from now on October 14th that is called the Forever Real Estate Client. There are some of you on here who are alumni, and I'll just give you guys some quick details. I'm not going to go too in depth, but if anyone is interested in this 6 week course, the key, in my opinion, to this training is it's not just attending a group training where you hear someone talk at you. We do the training or we hear the training and we learn, but the key thing to learning is actually doing the work. So every week you learn the concept and then you do the work. You learn the concept and you do the work. And this 6 week session is something that is based around the business that I built, and I've sold over 1,000 homes in my career. This is something that has then been morphed and refined. And it is an incredibly impactful training where we're going to teach you how to organize your CRM. Not only that, you're actually going to have a private one-on-one with Trisha or another guy that I work with, Jared, who will actually really, really help you with this. We'll talk about social media, not in the sense of promoting it, but in the sense of using it in connection, action plans, marketing plans, events. And the basic concept is I want you to build a business that feels effortless, that you love and enjoy, and eventually could retire from. And the last thing I'll say is that this training is so good, and I guarantee it works. And I will be willing to put your investment and my guarantee on it that if you do not produce a listing or a buyer from it, I should have added the word buyer from it, that I will refund your money. Like this stuff works, and you can go into this with assurance that if it's something that that you do these actions and you follow through, that this will produce business. And if it doesn't, I will be the first one to be glad to refund you if it doesn't work for you. This kicks off in 2 weeks, but more importantly, Matt, you have your AI program. We got a little time on that one, I think in December. Your AI program kicks off as well. So give everyone a quick little plug on your AI program.
Yeah, so it's basically you know, a 2-week program, Sky. We'll be now the third cohort I've done for this, and so I'm learning every time to improve it. The feedback has been outstanding in the sense of, like, you know, it's a very action oriented, very real estate agent marketing specific course, right? One of the things you'll see out there in the world is a whole bunch of trainings for AI and teaching you all kinds of things that, you know, might not be specific to a real estate agent's business, but that is the focus of this. It's just for agents. It builds on the knowledge I had at Compass, and we have daily exercises in this platform. I've created every day something you can do for 15 to 30 minutes. And the idea is to build fluency, right? Like, it's like learning a language. You either practice it or you don't get better at it. And I've really structured this to have sessions where we talk through everything that you're going to practice, and then those practices are the key, and to make it not overwhelming. So that's been the focus. 2 weeks, first 2 weeks in December. The whole idea is to do it before the end of the year. The focus of the December version is you will end the course with a 2026 marketing plan, and you will walk away having that done before the end of the year. Hallelujah. Everyone wants that, right? And so you can have, and there's I sent Sky, and I'll drop the link for it right here in the chat for everybody. And
Matt,
there's a specific a link for 10% off with the With Heart coaching code. So just one second, I will.
As you're doing that, Matt, too, I just want to say how exciting it is to like sort of pair the two together, right? Like it's because if you work with us in 6 weeks, you get everything organized and structured, then you go into the AI. How much more effective is the AI training and the results going to be when you're organized and your systems are in process and in place? So I really would encourage everyone to lean into, you know, again, invest in yourself in Q4.
That's right.
And it's huge, and huge plug for Trisha as well. Like we got some really, really great one-to-one trainings as well. So the bottom line is the three of us are here to help you guys no matter what. And I really want to encourage you. Sometimes in real estate, you know, there is no real formal training in real estate. So you need to pick and choose. But I can guarantee the three people that are sitting in front of you are here to help you no matter what. And our drive is to make you better. And again, I'm just really excited and really grateful as well.
Same. Thank you so much for having me today, Sky. It's so great to be with everyone today. Really appreciate always the time with great talented agents.
Awesome. And we'll follow up everyone with an email with all the resources, all the guides. If you need help, reach out to us. And again, Trisha, huge thank you to you for manning the controls and the platforms and keeping me organized as well. It's a full-time job. Yeah, everyone knows. All right, guys. Have a phenomenal day. Happy fourth quarter. Please lean in and let me know if I can help at all. Bye, guys. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, bye-bye.